Pedigree analysis. Pedigree analysis is the analysis in which, for up to 3 to 4 generations, genetical disorders can be traced in a family. The basic symbols which you should remember for pedigree analysis is that females are taken with circle, males are designated with this square. This representation tells mating between parent or mother and father. This represents the progeny of parents. If circle is dark, it means the female is affected by a genetical disorder. If square is dark, then male is affected by genetical disorder. So these are the main signs which you have to remember during pedigree analysis. Now, there are two types of diseases which we have to study. One is X-linked recessive, another are autosomal recessive. The one which are X-linked recessive, it is basically due to the defect on X chromosome. In case of females, there are two X chromosome and males have one X chromosome. For example, if there is a disease hemophilia and in female one X chromosome is affected, but this female will not be diseased, this female will be behaving as carrier female because one X chromosome is still normal. But in case of males, because of one X chromosome which is hemophiliac or diseased, we can say that this is a diseased son or male of a family. The reason is only this because males have one X chromosome, and if the male inherits defected X chromosome, then the male becomes the sufferer of disease. So, in X linked diseases, it has been reported that males are more sufferers as compared to females. Whereas, when we talk about another disease, which is autosomal recessive, so, in autosomal recessive disease, this has been reported that here there is no certain pattern followed in case of inheritance of disease by male and female. Male and female in a progeny can be equally affected. Male and female in a family can be equally affected. This has been seen in case of autosomal recessive disorder. Now, both of these disorders are recessive, which we have in our syllabus. So, in pedigree analysis, in both of these cases, you will see that the generations will be skipped. So I've just given you a outline of these diseases. I have just given you outline of these diseases about X chromosome and autosomal disease. This is a pedigree analysis chart. Here, students, we have to identify that what type of disease is prevailing in this family. So, very first step is to just identify whether this disease is dominant or recessive. So, in order to check this, we just have to see if the generations are being skipped, then that disease is recessive, and if the disease is seen in all the generations, then it will become dominant. So here in first generation there is no disease, in second, third and fourth there are disease, but still in the first there is no disease. So we came to one conclusion that this disease is a recessive disease. Now, then second most common type of question which is asked is that how the diseases are inherited. What are the genotypes which are found in affected person? So, when we talk about the disease like X-linked, we have to take care of one more thing, that is crisscross inheritance, in which disease can be spread from mother to son and son to granddaughter, or from father to daughter and daughter to grandson. So in this case, the son is affected but mother and father are normal. It means that mother is a carrier and father is normal. In this male of a family, this male has received one XX chromosome of mother and Y chromosome from father. Hence, due to defected X chromosome, this child is suffering from disease. Now, if we see the third generation, the daughter, which is normal here in the second generation, when married to a man, had one affected male in a family. This is also the same case because this daughter had ideally received the XX gene from mother and normal X from father. But because this daughter had received two X chromosome, one was normal, one was affected, so this mother was behaving as a carrier. But later on, this XX was passed on to the son, and the son got the disease. Similarly, when we will see this case in third generation, the father of this female was affected, but the female is not. But the son of this female is again affected. It means father has passed on XX chromosome to the daughter. So this XX and X came together in this generation, and this XX and Y gathered in the next generation. So this is how the XX gene, which is hemophiliac on the X chromosome, is passed on from one generation to next. Usually in X-linked diseases, one generation remain unaffected and the disease is seen in the next one. The reason is only because of the X chromosome. The females become the carrier in this disease, whereas the males, they become the sufferers due to the presence of only one X chromosome. So here this disease is X linked recessive disorder, and if the example is asked, hemophilia is one of the example. Even color blindness is one of the examples for this disease. Now, on the other side, if we will see in other pedigree chart, here are three generations. In first generation, there is no disease. In second and third, you can see the diseases. Now, in the second generation, to these parents, one son, then daughter, then one more son. It means two son and one daughter are affected in a family, but the affected son has a normal progeny in the third, whereas the normal daughter of the family had affected child in the third generation. Now, this type of disease in which crisscross inheritance is not followed, the brother and sister are randomly being affected. This type of disease is autosomal, and because generation was being skipped, so it is recessive also. Is it clear? Now, what are the genotypes? So, let us just check the genotypes. Mother and father, let them be heterozygous. Here, the individuals which are being affected, they have received the recessive allele, and the one which was not still had one dominant allele. And maybe this female is married to a man with this condition, capital A, small a, because of which the small a and small a gathered here and the individual became diseased. So, in autosomal recessive disorders, one thing is crisscross inheritance is not followed, and whenever you will see that progeny is being affected, the affected progeny always have the recessive allele small a, small a. So, this is autosomal recessive disorder. Thank you.